You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
You know, Doc, you keep crossing those legs like that, and I'm gonna need therapy for a whole different kind of problem. You ever treat a foot fetish for Bigfoot?
This is what freedom looks like, bitches. America, fuck yeah. This is a public service announcement to all lefties. There are 3 vacant lots in Iran that you can protest at. That is all. Have a good day.
Found these brownies in a hiker's bag. No label, no warning. So obviously I ate that shit.
Okay, that wasn't a snack. That was a damn portal to Jupiter.
Yo, did the trees just wink at me? What the fuck? Next time I see a brownie, I'm punching it in the face. Look what I found. Yeah. Some of that devil's lettuce.
Smells like Bob Marley's armpit. This ain't a 4-leaf clover, but I feel lucky.
Bro, I ain't steering. Ja is my co-pilot, man.
Are all stretched pretty thin.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty amazing. Corey's having some work done, some tests and such, just to verify that she's awesome and sweet, neat, and hard to beat. Looking forward to hearing good things on that. Amy's taking care of Mom, and she had a small wreck last week and ended up busting both kneecaps in the wreck. And when you're my age or thereabouts and both kneecaps are gone, that's yeah,
yeah.
Keep her in prayer. She's a fine person. Keep Amy in prayer too. She's got to be tired of all the things happen to good people. That's that's enough.
All the time.
And but yeah, we appreciate you guys coming, letting us come on, and or letting me come on, I should say.
We're gonna do it anyways, right?
We're gonna do it anyway.
Either way.
We're gonna
Either
have fun.
way. Oh yeah.
I don't know how to do those things behind the scenes, and
Just
honestly, I don't want to learn.
me either. I
Just point me.
I leave it to the producing crew.
There you go. They're awesome.
The other room.
They're awesome.
Oh man, so
I go.
what are we gonna talk about today, Doc?
Well, we could talk about how it's over. We could talk about that. So you get YouTube and all the mainstream media. Oh man, It's terrible. They're killing people. They're firing on this. They're doing that. Trump comes out and says, peace.
Oh my! I cannot believe people cannot see what's going on right now.
It's impossible for some.
It's so in your face if you've been following this the whole entire time.
Yeah.
It's like, but they're bombing our air bases. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We're not there anyway, guys.
They're empty. They have to be bombed.
We're not there. And that's had a lovely chat with one of my oldest and dearest friends today. He's going through a lot of stage 4 cancers and having all kinds of things. And he and I have known each other for over 20 some years and just laugh, carry on. He's not there all the way yet. Israel is still his nearest and dearest ally. I told him and showed him and did all kinds. And he said, well, I don't know about that. I said, that's okay. Study. You know, when you're 79 or old, you don't study anymore. But that's when you should. That's when you really should. You should get into it and start looking. Persia is mentioned so many times in the scriptures. And the funny part is the majority of them are in what would be called the Deuterocanonicals or the Apocrypha or the Book of Maccabees, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. They're in there because during that time period, the Maccabeans, they threw out the invaders who were watering down the truth of Israel, not Jews. It was the Jews watering down Israel. The Maccabean revolt absolutely crushed those things. Remember Alexander the Great, when he died, his kingdom went into 4 areas, split between his generals. The Ptolemies down to Egypt, the Seleucids up towards Syria and Iran, and then you had the others who went to Persia and such. And then the others all ended up, and they basically fought because of the bloodline. They Hasmonean Jews, the forerunners to the Hellenistic Jews, which were the forerunners and nothing but more than the Edomite Jews. They always changed their names, you know that.
Yep.
But they were the ones who said, we don't have to be pure blood. We can do anything. We can offer pigs if we want. And the old man Maccabees, whose name just happened to be the Hammer. Isn't that timely for all of our days? He basically went in there.
Wait. Can you repeat what you just said?
The Hammer?
Yeah.
Justice Maccabees was called the Hammer.
Good sweet God.
He was the old man who went in, him and his sons. And when the old man died, because he didn't see the completion of it, but then the sons took over and they were even more bloodthirsty, brutal than the old man. The Hammer. How many references to hammer have we seen? And all the whole thing is, the anvil that they were hammering upon was the truth. Your family cannot tell us that you are Israeli in truth, that you are the Abrahamic Israelis. You do not count. You cannot rule. You cannot lead.
They shouldn't be able to occupy any country either.
That's
every country they've been to, they've ruined.
Every bit of
every single one of them.
Every bit of it. So, I mean, Maccabees was a good study, a good read. I highly recommend it if you can get it. Look, there's the old Tyndale Bible has it in there, and that is prior to the King James. Yes, you will read and sound like a Shakespearean, and you'll have a tendency to go put on some tights and read Shakespeare in the park. But it's there's good translations of that you can read it. Now is the time to dig in, guys. We are right, I mean, staring right at us, the whole thing. But yeah, the Maccabees was a good reference. Was he would he be called a Jew? He'd probably hurt you if you called him a Jew, because he thought of Jews the same way that Christ did, the same way the Essenes did, the same way the people of God did. The Jews were nothing more than an abomination trying to hijack what God had said. Sound familiar? A lot of good stuff in that.
What was the operation's name that U.S. did on Israel? On Iran. Supposedly. Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer.
But the funny thing, I looked at the map. I'm like, okay, yeah, we hit them. We're done. Peace. That's it. They're still launching rockets right now, though.
Well, they got till midnight tonight, and then 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to wrap it up.
But
why would you give somebody 12 hours to finish?
Because how long was the war?
12. The 12-day war.
So there has to be two of those, right? What was the other war that's half of that?
6-day war.
Yes.
See, this is by the books. This is so incredibly by the book. You go from 67 till now, 33 and 25.
Oh, yeah. And like once before, we did it before, we can prove to you that Israel started this.
Yeah.
Israel started the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Because in the Jewish virtual library, in the history of Judaism, let me see if I make it a little bit bigger. See. Yeah.
The history of Judaism.
So, start and stop date, huh? Yeah. October 7th, 3761. Your 3761s are 17 already. Also, yep. October 7th, 10-7, 17. It's a double 17. The beginning day of the Hebrew calendar, according to scholar Rabbi Yosef ben Halalafta, a 2nd century rabbi.
Yeah,
so
we talked about this before, where the Jews were created before Adam and Eve. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cute, you know. It's like, yeah. And it's almost as if, you know, so 2nd century. So he was in the 100s. So you're going to tell me 3,800 years later, he's like, oh no, this is when it started. Come on.
No.
Everything has a start and an end date. This is their end date. That's the Jewish death date right there.
That's
all it is.
Works for me on that.
I mean,
when you look at those dates and you go, well, you know what? When you tell time the way they do, you can pretty much justify anything. And that's I mean, and who's going to argue with them? Tell me what church scholar, Christian church scholar, that's going to argue with them. They're all what's that? I saw the definition of PhDs, piled high and deep. You know, that's about the way a lot of them are. They don't think like that, and it's we're right there. We're right there. The Maccabean revolt. Do I think that'll happen again? Might have already happened again. There's Bibi don't realize that he's put the noose on himself, and he's jumping off full feet. As much as the Khomeini has to get out of there, and we need to restore the prince, Bibi's the same. And we said this a couple of weeks ago. I know their fates are intertwined, Bibi and Khomeini. And the cure is Orange Man. The cure is Orange Man. And
the cure is those 1800 MK84s that are coming in hot.
I think
because the thing is, don't think Israel's just going to skip away from all this.
Oh,
at the same time, they've been starving the Palestinians.
If anybody thinks Israel's done, provoking Iran and therefore the United States, the president of the free world just said there's going to be peace. Don't screw it up. And you know what? For those that do screw it up, I suspect, obviously, Missouri's not that far away. And we can get there again. And this time, I don't think it's, yeah, what a deal. I don't want to see that. I don't think the damage that was done in Iran, when you think about it, they gave us all kinds of heads up, 14 missiles. They gave us all, thank you for the heads up, Trump says. We shot 13, one veered off.
And that's the thing. It's like, okay. So he puts this out.
So those 13 that they got, are we talking missiles there? Or are we talking family?
Oh, you know what? Before we get into this, though, CNN did us all a solid. I know. I have a short video here because CNN exposed Israel's nuclear program. I thought they didn't have nukes.
Oh.
And also, Doc, I have a video I'll post, but I'm not going to play here because it's too long. But it's like an hour long. It's Sam Adams, Schofield's Hyper-Zionists, the useful idiots of Talmudic Judaism.
Oh, geez.
The Christians, yes.
Yeah. I like that. Like I said before, that I did a paper in 1985. It was called Schofield's Island. It was how the Schofield Bible is the worst compilation of dribble.
Just
ever.
junk.
And it was based on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. So Marianne and Ginger ended up being fucking terrorists. You know.
I'm sure I had some amazing thoughts in there.
Oh man. But yeah, this one is just outstanding. I mean, there's some really good stuff coming out because a lot of people are totally missing the whole thing. Oh, here she comes. What's up, girl?
Hey.
Gas in here. There she is.
Howdy.
Hey.
Hooray.
I didn't know what time I was going to get done with my wonderful meeting of the doctors. So what'd I miss?
They all said you're great.
Not much. We're just now starting to talk about veggies.
Oh, our favorite topic.
I know, right? Well, it's the only topic because it all goes back to
everything right back to it.
But then, oh man, because this thing, I'm sitting here blaming Israel. It's like it's the UK, but it's actually all of them because it's the British Board of Deputy Jews and oh boy, and tomorrow's show, I ain't gonna lie, if you have a very, very, very sensitive stomach to pedophilia, tomorrow's show is not gonna be good for you. Because oh boy, did we find the exchange. Yeah. And the exchange is horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But yeah, I've got this one real quick, and this is beyond beautiful because
take Netanyahu's claims with a grain of salt. I mean, honestly, probably this audience does already do that. This actually surprisingly was done by CNN, which was kind of shocking because CNN doesn't do a lot of whatever the opposite of saber rattling is. It doesn't engage in a lot of olive branching. So let's take a look at this clip of Netanyahu making some familiar claims.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close.
Right.
Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons. That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
If any of this sounds familiar, it's because it is.
Yeah, it's, reminiscent of the run-up to the Iraq War.
Yeah.
Could be, might, would be able to, all these kind of hedges, so that later when these words are played back to you, oh, I never said it was certain. I said it was very likely, it was plausible, and so on. But look, the thing to understand about this clip, I've compared Israel inciting against or campaigning against nuclear proliferation in the Middle East to a drunken sailor slurring his way through a sermon against sobriety, and then immediately once he's done, going to the bar, demanding a drink, and being given a free bottle by the American bartender and being told it's on the house because we were so impressed by your oratory. It's absolutely absurd when you consider Israel has a nuclear arsenal of several hundred nuclear weapons and delivery systems to match. Iran does not. Iran has signed and ratified the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel has not. Iran's nuclear facilities are under the supervision of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Israel's are not. Iran in 2015 agreed to the most intrusive inspection, monitoring, and verification system in the history of the nuclear age. There are no inspections of Israeli nuclear facilities. So the idea that somehow Israel is a legitimate partner in seeking non-proliferation, nuclear non-proliferation in the Middle East is absurd beyond words. And more broadly, there are really only two ways to deal with this issue. Either the Middle East is transformed into a nuclear-free region where no state possesses nuclear weapons, and for that matter, any other weapons of mass destruction, or Israel maintains its nuclear monopoly, in which case it will be repeatedly challenged until that challenge ultimately succeeds. And until it succeeds, we will see Israel launching increasingly devastating, as in this case, unprovoked wars of aggression against states that are seeking to challenge its nuclear monopoly. Because from Israel's perspective, as was demonstrated by its attack on Iraq's nuclear reactor in 1981 and in Syria in 2007, it is not about preventing, or not only about preventing any other state in the region from possessing a nuclear weapon. It is ensuring that no other state in the region has the technological capacity to develop a nuclear weapon.
And as you pointed out, I mean, no one, it's kind of it's like the open secret of Israel that they have this nuclear arsenal.
Try to get any Western government to tell you that Israel has a nuclear weapon.
Right.
Seriously, no one will tell you. Ask them, does Israel have a nuclear weapon? And you'll get two answers. Iran must be prevented from acquiring nuclear weapons, and Israel has a right to self-defense. That will be their answer when they're asked about whether Israel has it. It's kind of the dirty little secret of the Western club. And everyone knows it. And behind closed doors, people talk about it openly. But no one will admit it in public, because you can't acknowledge that a state that has refused to sign the NPT, that refuses inspections, has a nuclear arsenal, and still pretend that there should be no consequences attached. But that was in the old days, if I can use that term. In the world that has been created by Israel and its Western sponsors and allies since October 2023, all these norms and values, the limitations placed on state conduct by international law and the laws of war and so on, these no longer exist. These have been transformed into items for debate and discussion in textbooks or for archiving in a library. The final nail in the coffin is that the entire nuclear regulatory regime is being incinerated as well by describing this unprovoked Israeli war of aggression against Iran and the direct targeting of its nuclear facilities by a nuclear power as a legitimate act of self-defense.
Right. And I'm about to show a video that was on CNN, but first I'm going to read the way it was introduced by Halal Flow. Everyone should follow this account. So Halal Flow tweets, CNN airs an analysis of what it would look like if Iran dropped a nuclear bomb on Israel. We're going to watch that video, but Halal Flow points out Israel possesses undeclared nuclear weapons and is not a member of the IAEA, unlike Iran, which is a member and, according to a recent IAEA report, has no nuclear weapons. But that doesn't stop CNN from hallucinating about Iran nuclear bombing Israel. So let us take a look at this clip that CNN made.
Amid showers of missiles and thundering exchanges, the claims are growing louder. Israel and its allies insist the already sweeping attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities need to be decisive.
If you want this war to de-escalate, get the nukes out of Tehran's hands.
It's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
For decades, Iranian leaders have been building a nuclear program which they say is for research and to generate electricity. Indeed, just days ago, Iranian leadership reiterated they have no intention of building a nuke. But intelligence and military analysts say Iran has long been stockpiling refined uranium, developing more powerful missiles, and mining the technical knowledge of allies, including Russia, with hopes of someday becoming the world's 10th nuclear-armed nation.
The Iranians are definitely much closer than they were.
With hopes of someday becoming...
All right, right here, they're showing all the countries that are nuclear capable. Iran has a question mark. Israel does not.
That's right.
What is the one country? They're talking about all this in the Middle East. It's like, well, who had them in the Middle East the whole time?
Israel. Timona.
Yeah. And how did they get it?
Stealing.
From us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look, the one thing that I'm like, can we get the nuclear weapons out of all countries in the Middle East? And that is including Israel.
Well, they've already been taken down.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just.
Oh, and it gets
with
better.
us talking about it. So.
Trump's letting Iran take all these shots at him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It had to be this way, right?
Yep.
Because it shows you who it's taking the mask off of those that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't start it. Mm-hmm.
It's always them.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're perpetual victims and they are not.
Yep.
There are two people in Israel's history that are non-Israelis that they have honored beyond measure. One of them is Donald Trump. The other was Cyrus the Great, a Persian. So they want you to think that Iran, they forget that Iran is Persia. Persia was not Muslim.
Right.
Persians were not Islamic. That didn't happen until 79 when they took them over and threw the Shah up with the help of Israel.
Israel and CIA.
And the CIA.
Yeah.
So they put the boogeyman in there.
They want this thing to be between the Jews and Christians versus the Muslims. It's not the case. Never has been.
But that's the thing. I mean, Albert Pike had it written. You know, it's going to be political Zionism versus Islam. Yep. And while they're destroying themselves, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
They're one and the same.
That's why they got rid of the Shah. It's because it didn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
He loved his
Persians,
people.
The Persians are not the boogeyman.
No.
Persians inherited or took over the Babylonian Empire. They adopted very much the same of the Sumerian culture and all that. The Persians were responsible for astronomy, philosophy, mathematics. They were the bane of my childhood because they did they did math, high level math.
Yeah.
These guys were the great. They were the great. Cyrus the Great.
Don't we think that King Cyrus is also part of Trump within all of this? So to me, I'm like,
I've never seen them in the same place at once.
Nope. Nope.
Other than on that shekel that they give to the temple.
Not only did the Shah love his people, the people loved the Shah.
Absolutely glorified.
And whatever you do, don't squeeze the Shah. No, just kidding.
Oh, Shah.
The sharp.
But even that, it's like, you know, if you give it back to the Shah, I mean, how good is that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you need somebody that is voted by the people
for the people.
For the people. Right. Because we start saying, oh, we need to put this, we can't be, if we install anybody.
Nope.
It has to be from the people, by the people.
And that's why they've been doing it. Because isn't it funny that like all the internet is down in Iran and all the cameras? Wonder why? We'll find out after this one because we were right about this.
Are they really down though?
This unmasked a lot of other people too in our movement, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I was like 72 hours, people, 72 hours. And there's always so much more. It's not a war. This is all part of the movie. Like I was like, where's my popcorn for the weekend? I'm good.
If Elon turns on his internet for those
Starlink.
Yeah. Is it on or not? Oh, they have no news over there, no nothing. Really? Those satellites aren't capturing everything?
Blackout necessary.
I don't think you understand how satellites work. You don't turn them off from the ground. You turn them off from whoever's controlling them. So when he turned that on, guess what's recording? Everything.
Or you just wait until the satellites on the underside of the Earth
catch
all these globies, and then it's like, you guys aren't really this. I mean,
they're going to catch Israel. Point blank.
Oh, they caught them already.
Yeah,
I think they caught them on October 7th and everything. All that's coming out.
It's exposure. It's exposure.
Now
because this is where it's really hard, right? With those that are like the Christians that are like, hey, Israel's our friend, da da da. That's going to devastate a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
But it needs to be done. The Band-Aid needs to be ripped off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You tell any American after all the crimes they read out that Israel's been complicit in America against Americans.
Yeah.
The ones that don't like it, out.
Right. Diamonds.
Yep.
That's another thing. Diamonds. Once people hear about diamonds, where those are actually from,
I mean,
because Israel doesn't have diamonds. That's not something that's naturally occurring there. And that's their biggest export. What the F, man?
And organs and
diamonds are us. Every one of those diamonds has an adjudicator mark on it. Microscopic adjudication, where they can tell you when, where, and what.
Yeah, Amazing Grace. Iran's never had nukes. That's the problem. They've done it all for medical purposes because they've had a lot of medicine because Israel's over there building all these drones and building all these weapons and everything because it's a death cult. That's all it is. That's why people are like, well, you know, it's like, people are like, oh, but they're bombing Americans in Israel. It's like, I don't care. If they're there, fuck them. They ain't American.
Yeah.
Check their passports. I bet you got dual citizenship and everything.
Dual citizenship.
If you're who goes over there in wartime? And if you're over there, oh, well, they've been over here. It's like, oh, you mean they're settlers? You mean to tell me that they probably, you know, stole land in the West Bank and...
You're no longer American. You're over there. But that nuclear medicine thing that Iran has been involved with, there's entire medical facilities that are nothing but nuclear medicine. Iran is so close. Well, I think they're already there, to be honest with you. I think they've already got the cure, but it's been suppressed for so long and everything else. The nuclear medicine that they're working on will cure cancer. This cancer that we have right now. It's amazing science. Why would the eaters of the world want to get rid of nuclear medicine?
We'd much rather get rid of the eaters of children.
Yes, that's it. We have to really start looking at things a little differently, folks.
Right. You're smarter, says Corey. Israel's biggest export is hatred.
Well, and I mean,
it's amazing. They're barbaric.
They
are
it's
so
all
satanic,
just
it's unbelievable.
The
empathy
whole culture
they have known. Yeah.
It's been a blood feud forever. Now, back to those missiles and such just for a second, because I had this thought and I wanted to get since we have the map up there. They sent 14 missiles. One went astray or veered off to the north, is what he called it. The other 13 were taken care of. Was he telling us that the 13 families are all taken care of now?
And one went free, was set free.
Canadaeus.
14th bloodline.
Canadaeus.
Also 13 angry Democrats. I mean,
we're nothing he is doing right now is not by the book. He is setting things for people to see. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Who do you think he's talking to? Us.
And he had a crack in his voice a little bit when he addressed the nation the other night. And that's of a strong leader. He knew, even though he didn't want, like, it's up to you, God. Like, I'm giving it back to you because it's up to you. It's in your hands. It wasn't something that he wanted to do. He knew he had to do it.
And he did very much like George Washington. He had an appeal to heaven.
Yes.
The pine tree. He had the appeal to heaven. And we're here. It's so good. It's so amazing. And yeah, Carol, he is anointed by God. I believe that firmly. Doesn't mean it's an easy job.
Yeah.
Still got to get up, roll them up, and go. Still have opposition. Absolutely. But I like our chances.
Right.
They're right there. Yeah.
Man.
Persia's not your enemy, folks.
Nope.
No.
Because, I mean, we're on a strict timeline now because, I mean, we have to have everything wrapped up by July 6th.
It'll be wrapped by the 4th.
Yep. Oh, the 4th is going to be amazing this year.
Dun, 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 dun,
We're going to pass
dun,
certain
dun.
things by the 4th, and it's going to make. So don't be so disturbed by everything. I was watching in the course of 10 minutes. I watched YouTube, CNN, Gateway Pundit, and everybody else, and they all said gloom, doom, and
Well,
all
now
dying.
that he's
This
doing
is
war,
terrible. We need
I'm
to
against
wipe
Trump
need
now.
to
That's
wipe
not
them
what I
out.
voted for.
And then Trump posted on Truth Central, "Hey, peace."
Yeah, it's like,
and everybody on the other channels were womp womp womp.
because he knows, because he gave him strict timelines. It's like, look, you don't fire anything from here, you done here. But he knows that they're gonna fuck around. That's why they still
like to find out.
And now that's one of the big deals. Frogger, you're right. The Iranian sleeper cells keep coming.
Yeah.
Really? You don't think you know where those guys are?
They know where everybody is. And who's the Iranian sleeper cells? I'm more afraid of fuck the Mossad. Those are the ones you got to look out for.
That's the same damn group of people, folks.
Same ones.
Same group of people.
Because Iran, bold Iran is who?
Yes.
It's Mech. And you notice when he put make Iran great again?
Yeah.
It's MIGA. It's like
MIGA.
But the thing is, 3.0, right? Which one's missing? Which one's in the middle? Mega. Go for the mega group now. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an amazing time, and not everything is it seems. I used to remember back in the day where everybody in seminary was saying, "Oh, this is that, this is bad, whatever," and I thought, folks, we living in the end times right now. Mid '80s, I said that. We're living right there. You want to do something stupid, it'll be on worldwide television in 30 minutes.
If you're on TikTok, 10 seconds.
Yeah, now, well, yeah, exactly. Everyone will see. Everyone is seen. My friend who I talked to, we chatted, and he disagrees a little bit, but he did admit there are things that he never thought he'd ever see it in his 79 years. He said, this is biblical. And I went, it absolutely is. We're seeing people that don't normally entertain such things, entertaining them. You just saw a clip on CNN where the pundit is telling you Israel's got about 100 nukes. Seriously, we just saw that.
400.
Yeah. Now, for those of us who have seen these things before, that's okay. But CNN did it. Your grandmother who thinks that sun and stars and moon arises upon the Democratic Party just heard that Israel, her nearest and dearest ally, has 100 nukes. And that they're the aggressor. Sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes that's all it takes. Time to wake up. We're
This one,
we got a bomb threat around the White House. I haven't heard that yet.
What's that?
Somebody in the chat just said that there was a bomb threat around the White House.
Okay.
Credible, yeah, it
It's
says
gotta go.
credible reports indicate a
It's
bomb
gotta come
threat
down.
near the White House, prompting the evacuation of surrounding buildings developing. That's my news store. That's my news voice. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah, I remember Islam and Israel always got along together.
Well,
until certain political parties started all kinds of, what do you think Tartaria was? All different kinds of faith, all different kinds of beliefs. They all got along. You know why? They all got along. How hard is this? Real hard when you have somebody in there that's just doing nothing but stirring shit. And that's who these guys have been.
Oh, shit, not that one.
From the ocean to the sea, indeed.
Thank you, Dina, for setting and hosting tonight. I really do appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
I have so many doctor's appointments here and there that I'm like, oh crap, Monday. That's Monday. I don't realize that. So it was just a follow-up with my general practitioner, and everything's good. So
I even saw one of those videos, Deplorable Wendy, that they were blaming Qatar for helping them set up the attacks on the American bases. Trump came right back and said, and
Israel attacked him, right?
Yeah. It's
that too.
Qatar.
Was
that who the aggressor was on that one that was attacking Qatar?
No, it was Iran. They said that they were taking out the air bases that need to be taken out in order so they can have sovereignty, because we can't have any bases on any countries.
Air bases that were empty already.
Like I said, Iran next. But there's something even bigger than that with this. The N-word, right? So he says, did I hear former President Medvedev from Russia casually throwing around the N-word, nuclear? So, funny thing is that, well, when we go through this, I'll go back, I'll pull out Medvedev. Let me see if I can here, if I could see. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, let me see. Hold on one second. Let's see right here. And Lavrov. Kislyak. No. Nope, don't matter. Nope, don't matter. Because when he mentioned Medvedev, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was Medvedev exactly? Remember the big red button? The START treaty?
Yeah. SALT treaty or START?
START. There's START 1 and START 2. And this was done at the White House. Who was the other person pushing the button? It was Hillary Rodham Clinton. That's why Trump's like, oh, my red button works. It's like, yeah, it's Diet Coke button. Fucking congratulations. But there's something even bigger than this, right? Because it doesn't have anything to do with Iran, right? So, saying that he and other countries would supply nuclear warheads to Iran. Did he really say that, or is it just a figment of my imagination? If he did say that, and if confirmed, please let me know immediately. The N-word should not be treated so casually. I love what he says, the N-word. It's just like, if you follow the Trump, it's like, this guy's
awesome.
But he said, I guess that's why Putin's the boss.
Yes. All caps. The boss.
Yeah, but there's a reason behind that. And we'll go through this after this. By the way, if anyone thinks our hardware was great over the weekend, far and away the strongest and best equipment, we have 20 years of advanced over the pack, is our nuclear submarines. They're the most powerful and lethal weapons ever built and just launched the 30 Tomahawks. All 30 hit their mark perfectly. So, in addition to our great fighter pilots, thank you to captain and crew.
Did you see
done in 30, exactly 30.
Yeah.
Why would you say thank you to the captain and crew? Oh, should we start getting our tray in the upright position for landing? Because when you're talking about pilots, okay, you have pilots, right?
You thank them at the end of the journey. You thank them at the end of the flight. You don't thank them before you take off.
But why would you thank captain and crew when you're dealing with the military? You would think an admiral. You would think a general. So why'd they send all those empty ships over there? Because we're not leaving our shit in Afghanistan. Like, well, Trump set that one up too.
Yeah.
We're bringing our crap home.
Yep. That's why there's nothing in your basement.
Every one of those carrier groups goes out and they come back with about 5 or 6 extra.
And 10:27 a.m., right? What was the date of the first drop?
10:27.
10:28. 10:28.
Yeah.
But
Raising Cain talking about the job that they did there. He just kept looking like this, and then he had that one moment where he looked down the barrel of the camera and he said, I really wouldn't want you to think you can do anything. Basically, he was saying.
But did you see the photo that they captured of him in the Situation Room?
Sure.
He had his hands like this, the devil horns, but they're pointed down in both hands. I'm like, why would you be doing that, sir? Well,
you're dead, man.
If Putin's the boss, right? What's the boss? Well, it's funny that I was looking through some people involved in pedophilia, and it just so happens that they're connected to the Bureau for State Security, the main South African state intelligence agency from 69 to 80. The apartheid era in South Africa.
Oh, lovely.
Where else is there an apartheid era?
Mm-hmm.
So, Do you think this Bureau for State Security actually has ties to Israel? I mean, blackmail? I mean, if you think about it, watch SA, right? It's South Africa. Because South Africa is tied directly to Israel. Because that's where they were doing all their nuke tests. That's why they started all their apartheid shit and started killing all the white farmers. Because what group is easier to control? Yep. Because remember, they don't want people thinking at their level or higher. They want a dumbed down populace. They want the slave class.
Always. Always.
And then nuclear submarines. It's like, oh, doing a little sub hunting, are we? The hunters become the hunted, huh? Trump said he's a hunter now. What are you hunting, sir?
And we're 20 years ahead.
Yep.
Ahead of the pack.
And then,
oh, I like the fact he did call Putnam the boss. I thought that was pretty good.
But yeah, so I've got one right here.
The weather in Virginia has not been kind. It's very, very warm, high humidity.
Fucking hotter than devil's dick here.
Yeah. And this big old this sweaty hee-haw dude.
22.
Yeah.
4, 7. Ooh. Oh. All right, so this is a quick one.
Y'all, this is crazy. A UFO disarms 2 rockets fired by Iran. Check this out.
Just
Whoa!
Wild stuff. It literally hovered there, waited for the rockets to get near it, and then completely disarmed them. Who was manning that UFO and where it came from, nobody knows. But it was clear that UFO made those rockets look like child's play.
Yeah. Shall we? We shall, right? Because
we have no idea what we have.
Should we go to 10-617? We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran.
Who do you think was in that plane, guys? Why did I thank a captain and crew?
Which captain and crew?
I know, right? Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than good old USA. Why would you be worried about good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and it doesn't compare to American-made? So wouldn't that mean we're actually helping Iran?
Conceived and manufactured?
Yeah.
Interesting terms.
Stuff. Yep. You don't manufacture what that was at all. And if people are like, no, there's no way it's, talking about, guys, when unconditional surrender came out, right? When he said unconditional surrender, who was he telling an unconditional surrender to?
Maybe.
Israel.
Maybe.
You can tell by the timestamp.
Yeah.
Because who got shot because of nukes? Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. On 11/22.
11.
And 11/22 makes it 33.
But there's 2.
Yep.
What's the other 11/22? 11/22/22, 1822, the secret treaty of Verona.
Oh, that's right.
They're gone.
They're gone.
God, this is so much
And
fun.
that's why Great Britain's gone, because They're the ones that prop the whole thing up with the Rothschilds and the banking and all the other.
Oh, they're done in September.
Yeah.
Trump's going out there to take over in September.
That's when you're going to see these 7 nations.
Please tell me it's the 24th of September so we can sing, do you remember the 24th day in September? Sorry. Sorry. I apologize. Jason's just like, oh, man.
Hell no. Why don't they just do it on 9/11?
There we go.
9/11
Really
is
take it
double
back.
9/11 because 9/11 is the date, but then you have 9 + 1 + 1, which is 11, and then your standard 2025 is your 9.
It's going to happen.
And then it's like, guys, why would you do this? 7 B-2 bombers head on a mission to Iran. 3 B-2 bombers fake out west towards Guam. Are you supposed to fake out? Or are these 3 the ones that have the real good ones for Israel?
Where'd they go?
Because the thing is, these 7, they weren't used. They only used 3 bombers. 3 bombers, and each one had 2 bombs. And 125 military aircraft. Oh, that's a 17, 12.5. I mean, it's also, when he says eighth of an ounce on this side, eighth of a pound on, eighth of an ounce, Doc, way back. Eighth of a pound on this side, now you're talking. When he's talking about weights, eighth of a pound on that side. Well, how much is an eighth of a pound? It's 0.125%. 12 + 5 is 17. He's just like,
it's great.
Constantly doing it. I mean, then ceasefire, set free. Let's see, there's one more thing in here. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff here. And now people like, nothing's adding up. It's like, yeah, the bombs he used just makes a hole in the ground and then detonates underground. But it's like, but makes no sense. Because then even the Ayatollah afterwards, he came out with a comment. And good old Jesus Enrique Rosas decided to give us a nice little rundown. It's a short one. I got that. And
It just gets gooder and gooder.
Oh, you're muted, Jason.
Oh.
Fully aware.
There you go.
This one's 7 minutes long. But yeah, it's funny when he starts talking about the Bible and Christianity and all that. It's like, But I think the story in the beginning, I think I have it, but I'll see if I remember.
And for though the as a response, so to speak, from Iran did not wait, and Khamenei's answer was a video on his official account on Twitter that is a bit cryptic. I want to just to react to this with you to find out what do you think about this, because I don't know what to make of it. Let's play it. I dubbed this to English just in case. The dub is with AI.
It is my Lord. When Prophet Moses took the Israelites and they moved at night towards the sea to escape from there and go, the Pharaoh's people realized and pursued them. Moses' followers turned to Moses. When they got close enough to be seen, the companions of Moses, the Israelites, got scared and with little certainty said to Moses, they have caught up with us. They're going to capture us now. We are doomed.
Between the music, the problem is the music. I think I had to get rid of the music because I know it's going to trigger some kind of copyright. I absolutely know that. Let me see, where's my voice isolation right here. Okay, I isolate the voice because the sound is very good. Sounds like a trailer. Sounds like a Marvel villain origin story with all the AI and the effects and the editing. He wants to look ominous and powerful, but no, it's going to be messed up with a copyright. But let's continue.
We are doomed. Moses said never.
This will never happen. Why? Because God is with me. My Lord is with me. Indeed, he will guide.
All right.
See, divine support.
I just kidding.
Indeed, he will guide.
Off too.
Yeah, it's
Is he flipping off the camera?
No, but also notice he has that ring on.
Yeah.
But when he said divine support, he'll play further, but remember who the divine one is. He's going to make sure nothing happens to the Persian Empire, because he called it the Iranian Empire. I mean, everything. He only mentioned Israel a couple times in this. It's like, not, we have control over the Iranian airspace. Well, why not the Israeli airspace? Oh, because we asked you for the codes for the Iron Dome that we paid for, and you just shit on us. And then you start a fight, and you're like, oh, you guys have to go finish it. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Every damn time.
Well, I need to take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna do it right now, and just post this on X right now. This is not a serious battle language analysis, as in, yeah, post it. This is not serious at all. I just had to do it. So, all right, yeah, he continues.
See, divine support is so important. If you and I can maintain this divine support, know that America is nothing.
Again, this absolutely reminds me of, I don't know if you watch Iron Man 3, where the Mandarin had this figure that was all fake and was, they wanted to do the full Bin Laden thing with him, and they did the montage with the, the TV screen filter and all that stuff. It's very Hollywood. For all that they hate America and death to America, they use the same filters and all the same things that Hollywood uses. So I don't know if this is a bit, I wouldn't say silly, but man, it's like you can be more original, because this absolutely looks like something edited in Hollywood.
Divine support is so important. If you and I can maintain this divine support, know that America is nothing. Even if there are those in the world with 10 times America's power, the power that has God's support will overcome them.
All right.
No, he's saying God, not Allah.
And the rockets. Don't forget the rockets. And the nukes. The one who's got the nukes and the B-2 bombers and the bunker busters. That helps. Again, this should have music in the background, for effect, and let's play some of that music, because the music makes it so cool.
Divine support. Know that America is nothing.
Again, this is exactly like a trailer for something. Oh, this is. Dun, 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 dun. What do you want to bet that they bought that music from a site and it was an American who composed it? But it was nice, the explosions with the music. All right, they put some effort in that.
God is the greatest. God is the greatest. God is the greatest.
The Iranian nation has shown that after the threat from foreign...
Dun, 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 dun. Again, this is a trailer for what?
A movie we're watching?
Do the voice isolation again. It's what is this?
Trade cannot be made with love. Do not be sad. Do not be saddened. And know that God assists. This is what the Iranian nation agrees. And those who forgot God from Allah, the Almighty, the Wise, and Almighty God, The Iranian nation and the truth and the right have surely and certainly been victorious. God willing, peace and mercy and blessings of God be upon you. My Lord is with me.
I don't know if the translation. I'm almost sure that the translation should be good, but as being victorious or not, will be victorious. Like speaking like in the past, maybe it's an error in the translation. I have no way of confirming this, but again, this looks like, this absolutely looks like a Hollywood production. I would like to know, what do you make of this? So my comments are open, because this is so cryptic. Okay, God is with us. Yeah, but at the same time, he made an example at the beginning that God was with the Israelites when they were fleeing Egypt, and God helped them through Moses, who led them. So that is the example that he was. I mean, maybe it's because I'm not an expert in the topic. Maybe you can throw some light and illuminate me with this, and that would be great. Let me know what you think about this. In
my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.
Right?
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Oh. Oh my God, this is.
We have much to unlearn. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, yeah. No idea. No idea. And I have an audio. I think it's like 17 minutes long or something like that. I could play it after this. This is a 5-minute clip. Wait till you see Netanyahu throwing a fit. This is
about his son and his wedding. And
Oh, I'm the guest host for today, Misty Winston. Jimmy is back from his trip, so he's been joining us all afternoon, which is great to have him back. So this is gonna. Here we go. You ready? I'm not even gonna like lead up to it. Here we go. Israel PM Netanyahu following Iran's latest missile strike. I'm going to play the video for you. There's subtitles. I can read them out for you. But this is this guy. There are people who, unfortunately, were also killed. Families who lost their loved ones. I really appreciate it. Each of us bears a personal price. It did not pass over my family. Yes, it is the second time that my son Abner has gone through this because of the threat of missiles and rocket fire. Cancels a wedding. It is certainly a high personal price for him and for his fiance and for our family. And I must say, my dear wife is a hero.
He's the evil one.
She has carried a personal price for years.
Carried a personal price for years. Remember when Trump said, hey, at least we, as long as we have Sarah, watch the wives. I mean, she's beyond psychotic.
He's wearing black.
Yeah, of course.
In the Westerns, who were the bad guys versus the good guys?
Black Bart there.
So like Satan.
I lead this move against the Iranian nuclear program.
Oh, as I lead this move against the Iranian nuclear program. You led. Trump told you not to do it. But like we went over yesterday, it's like this was all to trap them. The Golden Dome, they said Canada was going to cost $61 billion, right? Yep. Then he turns around and says, oh, Iran, it's day 61. It's like they knew they were going to do it because day 61 was his birthday.
They fell for it. These people are stupid.
And predictable. They're predictable.
She has gone through this. She has sacrificed the best of her years, and she has given me the strength to be here. Because without her, I would not be here.
So he's literally comparing his son having to reschedule his wedding with people being killed and slaughtered in a war.
Yeah, en masse.
I even heard it got worse, Misty. I heard his daughter had to reschedule a nail appointment at the salon.
Clutching pearls.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this, I mean, that's how
out of touch and insane he is.
Insane. That's the word. That's how insane that guy is. That is what a sociopath does, right? That, or even a psychopath. You don't know. He doesn't know how to have the proper amount of sympathy for someone else. He only knows his own pain.
Yes.
And for him to equate his own pain, which is nothing, I have to reschedule a wedding with people being slaughtered and killed,
Times
and
are
people
hard.
that shows you that he is a legit psychopath, and that's not like that's not an insult. That's a medical. That is me doing an armchair medical assessment, but that is the textbook definition of a psychopath. You don't have to be a doctor to know what the definition of a psychopath is, and to be able to see that behavior as psychopathic.
Yeah, that's a broken human being. That's criminal scumbaggery right there. That's what that is. That is criminal scumbaggery. I mean, the gall that it takes to stand in front of those cameras and to equate the rescheduling of a wedding to mass murder is fascinating to me. I'm really interested in the psychology of all that stuff. Like, I'm a true crime nerd. I like to examine that sort of a thing, and I'm always curious what makes people tick and all that. And he, as awful as he is, I am fascinated by what makes that. He is a character. That is for sure.
It reminds me, it's not on the same level, but it reminds me of when we had the COVID fascism, which was real fascism, people being forced to take experimental medical treatments, or they lose their job, or they can't go to school, or they can't go to college, or they can't travel. People being locked down, being arrested for going out and swimming or walking outside or going to a park. That's real fascism. People losing their jobs, being fired for not wanting to go along with it. And then Joy Behar says, yeah, well, I wanted to go to Italy, and I wasn't able to go to Italy.
I remember.
Remember that when she did that? I don't know if you saw that. But that's
you covered it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. I was not able to go to Italy. Okay, I guess that's exactly the same thing as someone being locked down to the point where their kids are suicidal, they lose their jobs, and it's just unbelievable that. So this is similar on a different scale for sure, but holy cow! So again, this is keep talking, Benjamin. Keep talking. And Israeli Zionist spokespeople, keep talking so people get a good look at the depravity that is Zionism.
Yeah,
100%
agree. So yeah, that was just a little.
I hope you.
I thought that was amusing.
And when the war is over, then do a big reception party.
But there's a problem with that. He's talking
the war
about,
is never over.
No, but he's talking about a wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones waiting for the wedding.
Yes. The wedding.
The wedding. Their exit, our ascension.
The wedding, guys.
Oh man, yes. Yes.
I just
yeah, that's the end of it. So
that was good. A lot of fun on that one.
Oh yeah.
The wedding's important.
I saw this clip.
Sorry, Doc, go ahead.
No, the wedding people need to realize is there's a lot of people invited. According to scriptures, not everyone shows. Not everyone replies. I'm busy. I'm in the field. I'm busy doing that. And he said, what? Open it up to everyone. The wedding's for all of us.
The Avalanza.
Not if you got time. Not if you want to make it a non-priority. The wedding's for all of us. Have eyes to see. Help those along the way, because the way is pretty amazing for a lot of us. Now, think back whatever. How did you get to this place? A lot of people held our hands, held our hair while we were throwing our guts up. Be that for others. And this is going to be earth-shattering. I wish I could do the Marvin Martian earth-shattering kaboom. There's going to be an earth-shattering kaboom. It has nothing to do with a missile.
Yeah, but it sure is fun listening to them scream. This one's a 2-minute clip. Wait to hear the logic of all this.
Yesterday or the day before of this Israeli that was like, my house that was given to me is going to be destroyed. It's like,
oh my God.
All because what? We bombed Iran a couple times.
Oh.
Settlement resident says, I received my new house yesterday and it was destroyed today in the Iranian missile attack.
So her family stole the house.
Yeah. Are there no translations for this?
Look at him cry. Cry, pig, cry.
Camera's on,
The word received here is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this sentence. Guys, she earned that house fair and square. And when she says received, she means she got it fairly because a Palestinian person said, I want you to have my home. After all, this is your land that you were promised thousands of years ago. Don't worry about me. I'll figure out a new place to go. Here you go. This is your house now. Now take care of it and don't let it get bombed by Iran. Dude, are we serious right now? Did you see the tweet saying, quote, they're turning us into Gaza?
Now you know how it feels. Maybe if you didn't start something in your own...
Wait, you guys can't do a fraction of what we've done to you or other people? That would be unfair. That would be unfair.
And a lot of people will not see the difference there.
You put out in the world what you're going to get back.
Oh,
that's the best way I can put it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but
no.
Turnabout's fair play, people. Turnabout's fair play. If you don't want any of that to you, then don't do that to others. It's fair enough to me.
Oh
my God.
I wish I had a map of, because if you look at the map of the places that Trump hit, the 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something real funny about it. It resembles Orion's belt. And then Iran says, hey, we're sorry. We mistakenly hit, 2 American bases in Iraq, right? So they hit the Al-Assad Air Base and the Balad Air Base, right? But that's good because the National Guard isn't at those. They're at the, Camp Taji because of the dinar release. Because right here, so 25,000 U.S. troops stationed in Iraq, primarily key military bases. Camp Taji. No, Al-Assad, largest air base, Anbar province. There was nothing there. It was a ghost town. Hit it. Balad Air Base, located north of Baghdad. Big significant help for U.S. operations. We're not doing operations anymore.
That's right.
Hit it. Camp Taji, don't touch Taji. That's where we're at. That's why Trump's just like, oh, whatever. He's like, hey, can you hit the other ones too? Now they're hitting the ones in Qatar. And it's like,
Qatar.
It's just like everything's lined out. Because under the Nassar rules, we have to have all of our military out of all bases.
Everyone.
Plus, you have to have all these countries start demilitarizing. Right? Get rid of your big booms, guys. We really need some help. It's like, hey, can you guys so would you like to play a game, right? It's a war game. That's all this is.
Yeah.
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 He's Trump's like, oh no, our intelligence says that they're gonna make nukes. Like every bit of intelligence out there says no.
That's right.
The IAEA says no. It's like
the only ones that say yes is Zion.
Trump's
and the war hawks in Washington. Boy, have they been exposed. Holy shnikes. And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Something else. Even like this one, this post right here, right? March 1st, March 1st, 2019, right? Nice. Carpet bombs are okay. Because remember, who carpet bombed the nuke spots first? They said, oh, Israel, yeah, we went and knocked all these spots. It's like, you guys didn't even the spots that you guys had. You say another video? Because, guys, they have the proof that, yeah, Israel built a secret military base inside of Iran. So in the drops, when they talk about Iran, they're in bold, they're talking
about Israel.
Israel.
Talking about who runs it.
Iran where? To Israel.
Because
by the way, it's all underground, the majority of it, and they came through Iraq to get there.
And you have to use bunker busters in Israel anyways. Remember, Roman Abramovich built that massive underground complex for child sex trafficking, organ harvesting, and where they fillet Palestinian people, and they have a big skin thing there. No Jew skin. Yeah, I know. Hey, just treat the power.
I remember we talked about this a while ago, and in one of my shorts the snippets that I do, I had to go in and get some of that information. That's why I'm like, oh. Yeah, I remember this is something that we keep, talking about. It all pops up here and there because it's the truth.
Gosh.
Don't like it. I wish it wasn't happening, and eventually it'll stop.
So, September 17th, week of, right? D-class coming, more incriminating text. Because FEMA, presidential alert, Trump emergency test, right? Yeah, he had a test. When was the finale? When he was at Fort Bragg. Remember at the end of his speech? They had the tones. D-class coming, more incriminating text release coming.
That was the first.
So, more incriminating text releases, right? So, let's just say dark to light copper bombs to Moab, right? They didn't use Moabs.
Not yet.
Nope. They have them because they know Israel's last. Israel's last for a reason not mentioned here. It's like, well, how many?
I don't
It'll make the fireworks
realize,
at Disneyland look like
I don't think people realize the depth and magnitude of the tunnels in that area.
Yeah.
All the way to Rome, go all the way to Iran.
Because it's that Silk Road, right?
They go everywhere.
Yeah. Because isn't that where the Khazars is the Silk Road the one that's the deadliest road?
Yeah, that was the one where the Khazars, where it would go to China and then through the Middle East and the Orient.
Yeah.
That was the whole Middle East. That was the Orient.
Yeah. Amazing Grace wants me to for comedy relief to read this. Trump is creating a new golf course in Iran. 3 already has his first 3 holes.
But they're laughing. They're like, yeah, it's like if you have control of Iran, everything's Iranian airspace.
Yeah.
It's like, but
I have control of this.
Why would Trump sit here and say, oh, no, well, we have to go strike Iran? That's why he's like, okay, we hit them. That's it. Right? Because I wonder how long. Because wasn't it funny that shock and all, right? Who else did that? And they had a parade for him. Norman Schwarzkopf. and that was in Iraq. This is Iran.
He was the one that found all the gates.
Israel, Iraq, Iran. 999. Also, what if we were, so if P equals C, right? And C before D, would that mean Persia before Damona?
Oh.
Persia's bigger than we know.
I mean, rabbits love to talk to rats.
Goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's the balance. Are you going to get the Edomites? Are you going to get the Hasmoneans? Are you going to get the fake religious people out of the way? Or not? Every time you were told to get rid of them, root and stem, you failed. They always came back. Am I advocating root and stem? Absolutely. Absolutely. Our future depends upon it. Does that sound real militant? Don't know.
Sounds like that JDL, that Jewish Defense League shit again, which it is. It's just, these people just.
Oh, Frogger, that was a great game, Prince of Persia. Yeah.
Oh, and also in that, I can't believe I didn't do this. So in that drop, right? There's an article in the drop. Timing is everything, right? Presidential alert. Trump text slides to October 3rd. What if you add the delta for October 7th, right? Which is 10/7/17. But look at the updated time. 9:11 a.m. Tuesday, September 18th. I mean, I don't know. I mean, should check on what was signed on the 17th of September in 1963, which was the proclamation for Columbus Day. You know, the same one that Trump was the one man with the sword walking down Broadway. This guy's amazing. That's all he is.
This is so.
Hug says, true republic under military protection equals Trump. Thank you, President Trump. That's an interesting acronym, right?
Acronyms are great. Love them. Oh, also, no, we need to clear this up first because, man.
Are you going to hurt my feelings, Jason?
Nope. So, remember they're having a big war about this. I can't believe he would call Senator Padilla Jose Padilla. I'm like, you called him what? I'm like, no. No, it's like, he's in on it too, huh? It's like, because people don't know who Jose Padilla was or is. Well, he's locked up. But he is an enemy combatant of the United States.
Yeah.
Chicago, May 2002, suspension.
Chicago, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shock.
Huh? Military. Oh. He was not entitled to trial in civilian courts and had him transferred to military prison in South Carolina.
Look at those eyes. They're just like dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dead inside. But sentenced to 17 years and then increased on appeal to 21 years. I mean, the numbers are just. And he's
Name
Superman.
Abdullah al-Mohajar. Abdullah.
Yeah.
Latin Kings street game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this, when he said this, I'm like, so he's calling him an enemy combatant to the United States, which he is.
He attended that mosque. Oh, Adam Hamid Hussein. Hussein was associated with radical Islamic fundamentalists, including the terrible one, the name that shall not be named, Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda.
Lebanese-born Palestinian, because we got to get those guys in there. The Palestinians are bad too.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to get that narrative out there.
Broward County.
Jeez.
Married an Egyptian woman. Huh. Wait a second. So Obama know this guy too?
Must have.
I'll bet this is one of his buddies from Muslim Brotherhood. It's got to be. Because if he was Afghanistan, Pakistan region in 2001, right? Where was Obama? I mean, he was in the Senate, but
same time period, same. It
thing is, remember, because Obama was there in the 80s working for Al-Qaeda and all that, and, you know, under good old, you know, during the Afghan-Pakistan war with the Soviet Union. You can even trace his mother's, where his mother's shit traced back, all the passports and everything, that she worked for the Ford Foundation in Pakistan, which is a CIA cutout.
The Ford found it, exactly. Dirty
Trained
bomb?
in the construction and employment of radiologic weapons, dirty bombs. Are you sure that Al-Qaeda safe house in Pakistan did it, or was it another faction of the Mossad that was doing it?
Mossad has a lot for the H-bomb. The hydrogen bomb is so much different than a dirty bomb. For them to put the same thing in the same sentence saying that's what we were thinking about, that's CIA all over it. That is, CIA, no, okay.
Yeah. Well, no shit. Yeah, satirical article. Swinging buckets of uranium as fast as possible. Can you see some? You know what? Never mind. Never mind. You know, somebody be out there, hey man, we're gonna get some uranium. Man. Been out there fast. It's like, look, I can make a bomb. I mean, and like the CIA, yeah, anyone which would likely result in death of anyone attempting to follow instructions, probably just to obtain uranium. You would
think about it, guys. You're gonna walk in. I'd like some of uranium, please. Really?
What grade would you like?
Oh, there's some good old throwbacks. Bush, Rumsfeld.
Get the band back together.
Yeah, but that district court judge, that Mukasey, that's one of the ones that was going after Trump over the whole immigration shit.
Yeah.
Issue ruling on validity of continuing to hold Padilla under the material witness warrant. Bush issued an order of Secretary of Defense Rumsfeld to paint Padilla as an enemy combatant. Ooh!
So that's what you have to do, according to the president.
Because
just name him an enemy combatant and put him away.
And they're all enemy combatants because they're all tied in the Democrat Party, which is an enemy to the Republic. And also, they have ties to these revolutionary communist parties of America. Just look at the Democratic Party. You don't see, socialist Republicans and communist Republicans. No, you see Republicans.
This, and this is classic Trump to me. This is classic Trump. You're going to take what Bush and Rumsfeld, two of the worst. That's a whole nother forever. That's one of the worst people we've ever seen. But yet, that's what they did. Now I'm going to do it. And now you're the enemy, and you're the enemy combatant. Based on past presidents, the courts will side with me.
Right there.
Right there.
Closer to Al-Qaeda, a designation for loosely knit insurgent groups sharing common ideas and tactics. I don't know, Antifa? BLM? All
if
that.
the shoe fits.
With which the United States is at war. Remember, Trump is still a wartime president.
Still is.
Yep. Hey, I'd engage in warlike acts, including conduct and preparation for acts of international terrorism. What about domestic terrorism? Hence the riots.
You thought Rumsfeld 2002. Yep. You thought Bush 2002. You had it by the horns. The fact of the matter is, there was old magic beyond the table.
Yep. And then
setting precedent.
Yep. He had intelligence that could assist the United States in warding off future terrorist attacks. Yeah. Because remember, they're all community organizers.
Yeah, and it came from Israel, who said, it's bad.
Holocaust, 6 million, And he was a continuing threat to American security. Aren't they all?
Biggest threat to American security is the war hawks, who are being fed by Israel, by Zion.
Yeah, this is when they were, decided to waterboard him some, habeas corpus.
There's that Southern District of New York. Are you kidding me?
All the time.
With the Donald Rumsfeld?
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Hey, you really shouldn't go after the Zionist Organization of America. And also, you shouldn't really, make them declare themselves as foreign agents. Sent that to RFK. And that was after JFK was shot. Oh, they're foreshadowing there, huh?
Where's the New York court that said, hey, Rumsfeld, you don't have to, because you reside in Virginia. New York has no precedence over you. So wait a second. How'd they get away with that with Trump? The same thing for the same people.
Yeah, because he moved to Florida. He moved to Florida.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there you are.
Jurisdiction.
You suspended habeas corpus to go get him at Mar-a-Lago. You damn fools. This is going to come back and bite. It already has.
However, the court declared that President Bush had constitutional and statutory authority to designate and detain American citizens as enemy combatants. That's it. That's how he got them.
And
that's why he said Jose Padilla.
Comms everywhere.
Everywhere comes.
Drop the mic. End the game.
That's right.
If you are smart, you'll ask for peace. If you are smart, you will change. If not, we have plans for there too. May I play a song for you? YMCA. It's beautiful. A lot of the kids.
Let me dance.
A lot of kids are doing it. I like to shake a little bit.
It'd be funny if they nicknamed Gitmo YMCA.
They will. They will.
Oh man.
Back to the Future. This is so much fun.
Oh my God. Too funny.
I can't tell you how much I like this, because this is when you can put things together that with others together, it means so much more. And it's awesome, and I appreciate all of you. Is Israel still bombing? You're a huckleberry if you do. Just say it. Jay, you're hearing. Your mic.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So I put a video in there, and I'm not gonna show it because it's an hour. That's the one I told you about, Doc.
Yeah.
And it's Sam Adams, Schofield's Hyper-Zionists, the useful idiots of Talmudic Judaism.
Boy.
I
will. Is that in the permanent comments, folks? Did we get that there? Somebody please put that in there, because
I would say if I could even email it to you.
That's fine. Do that. That'd be great. Yeah. I don't think people realize, and this is where I have been for quite a while. What you believe is matter of faith has been so perverted, has been so compromised. Not necessarily by totally evil people, but people who took advice and direction and probably a lot of money to make it happen. And there's the scriptures are incredible. Read them all. Use discernment. The discernment's right there in you. Find a wise brother or sister that knows you and likes you in spite of yourself, and start asking questions. And together you'll start finding answers. Our Creator is a rewarder of those who seek the Creator. And man, I tell you what, the more and more you get down that journey, the better and better it is. The bigger and bigger it is, the less and less of you, and the more and more of our Creator. And you're right, Frogger. That's exactly it.
History is a set of lies agreed upon. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Robert Baratheon. Jason.
Oh, the Timu.
Yeah, Timu Obama. Oh, but this is Diddy Obama too.
Hey, this is Obama.
But this
is gotta be to pass this guy off.
Yeah, but this is the funniest 2 minutes you'll ever see.
Did you put that in the?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So remember, in the drops they talk about the Gang of Eight and Schiff and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. House Republicans, including Derek Van Orden and Byron Donalds, have suggested that the Trump administration was justified in not providing the briefings that you've asked for because the information would be leaked. They say that members would leak to the press and that the Trump administration was correct to keep this information secret. What's your response to these Republicans who say that you all would have leaked the information, classified information, had you received it in the manner that you requested it?
The Trump administration can't point to a single example of a Gang of Eight briefing being disclosed to the American people in a manner that would have created harm to the United States of America. I challenge them, point to a single example of a Gang of Eight briefing over the last several administrations resulting in information that was classified becoming public. What is the administration hiding? And by the way, the strike has already occurred. On Saturday, at the highest levels, respectfully request of the White House to provide an immediate Gang of Eight briefing. And it still hasn't happened.
Why?
This is after
said I don't have to.
The strike has occurred. Come up to Capitol Hill and justify your actions. Justify the fact that you may be taking us to a war that your own people in the MAGA verse don't want. Your own people. And you have a responsibility to explain that to the American people, and so far, they failed to do it, even at the highest levels of congressional leadership.
That guy's a legitimate dickbag.
Oh, he's so toast.
Oh.
The interesting part is the Supremes just did a 6-3 ruling. You even got Clarence Thompson. Clarence, happy birthday today, by the way.
Oh.
And 77.
Clarence?
77. And him and who's the lady that Biden put in there? The last one.
So
I couldn't define what a woman.
Ketanji Jackson Brown.
Yeah, the three did. The three.
Jackson Brown. Jackson Brown's cool too.
Oh, don't you hurt my Jackson
did
Brown
I get it completely wrong?
Damn.
But even they agree. Trump, you do what you want to do. You don't have to report to this about this. So everything that guy just said in the interview, The Supremes have already said, would you like some more? There. And that's exactly what they did. And yeah, this is, you don't have to justify. You're a wartime president, and media, you better, gosh, does anybody in the media realize just how close they are to just going straight to Nuremberg and dangling around with your friends?
As some people say, it's fun to hang at the YMCA.
Yeah. Unfortunately for some of these folks, they're going to be doing that.
And Trump did say, I'll never tell the enemy our plans. Pi Squared shared that. It's true. And if the people, there's some people in the Congress and Senate that are our enemies, and they're not, they're snakes.
It's pretty cool. Somebody just brought up the Jackson Brown running on empty. And you know what? That's exactly what the deep state's doing. They're running on empty. There's nothing left in the tank.
So I've got one more, and I implore everyone, please. Now, the Promethean updates, right? These women are the shit. I mean, they dig to a whole level I've never seen.
On Iran's main nuclear development facilities, Iran's foreign minister met with Vladimir Putin in Russia today. Meanwhile, President Trump told Bibi Netanyahu on Sunday that the U.S. is done with strikes unless Iran retaliates. Now is the time for peace. Trump and Putin are fighting to create it. The media says Trump has abandoned his anti-war base, that he's been captured by Netanyahu in Fox News, and that the all-powerful Israeli lobby now runs the White House. But is this even close to true? This is occurring against a much bigger strategic realignment, which could defeat the modern British Empire. They need a new war to defeat both Putin and Trump. And the media is lying as usual. I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've learned that in a crisis like this, sober serenity, not leaping to conclusions, is the key to avoiding catastrophe. Right after 9/11, my friend Lyndon LaRouche counseled just this mindset. Here's the plan for the video. First, I'll show you two clips from Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary Marco Rubio's TV appearances on Sunday. Then I'll walk you through how this situation could get out of control and what's really at stake. Finally, we'll dig into the strategic setting, the ghosts of Anglo-American operations in this region, which still determine events, and the economic revolution Trump is trying to launch. On Sunday, Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary Marco Rubio went on national TV to explain the strikes. Their tone, calm. Their message, clear. Let's roll the clips.
What we've said to the Iranians is we do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. But we want peace in the context of them not having a nuclear weapons program. And that's exactly what the president accomplished last night. I really think there are two big questions for the Iranians here. Are they going to attack American troops, or are they going to continue with their nuclear weapons program? And if they leave American troops out of it and they decide to give up their nuclear weapons program once and for all, then I think the president has been very clear. We can have a good relationship with the Iranians. We can have a peaceful situation in that region of the world. We have to step back a little bit, Kristen, and remind ourselves that we negotiated aggressively with the Iranians to try to find a peaceful settlement to this conflict. It was only when the president decided that the Iranians were not negotiating in good faith that he took this action. He didn't take it lightly, but I actually think it provides an opportunity to reset this relationship, reset these negotiations, and get us in a place where Iran can decide not to be a threat to its neighbors, not to be a threat to the United States. And if they're willing to do that, the United States is all ears.
The goal is stated very clearly in a letter the president sent the Supreme Leader about 65, 67 days ago. And in a letter he said, you're not going to have a nuclear weapon. Let's negotiate peacefully a solution. We can make a really good deal that's good for Iran, good for America, good for the world. If you don't, however, then I'm going to have to deal with this differently. The Iranians didn't like the letter. They didn't respond to it. They ultimately entered into fake negotiations and tried to play him along. In essence, they thought they could do with President Trump what they've done with presidents in the past and get away with it. And they found out last night that they can't. And the world found out last night that you can't. And that's important, not just on this issue, but for so many other issues happening around the world. I think that what we are seeing is that this is a president that tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it. And I think that to a lot of people, including the Iranian regime, is shocking.
Now, compare that to the media's narrative that Trump is out of control, that he's been captured by Netanyahu, that he's abandoned his anti-war base, that he is attacking J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Gabbard, and Pete Hegseth, who are against these strikes. The difference is night and day. What you're seeing here is Trump's real approach, measured, strategic, and focused on controlling escalation. He's not the reckless warmonger the media wants you to believe. In fact, the attempt to disorient Trump's political base is clear, with fights breaking out everywhere, online and off. This is what NATO calls cognitive warfare, and they've been waging it against Trump and his supporters since 2015. If you buy into the panic, you haven't learned much about Trump's journey to the White House, and your focus is way too narrow. The real story is much, much bigger. Let's zoom out. The globalist order is on the edge of a new financial collapse. The alliance Trump is forging with Putin is critical to surviving it. A new Mideast war is the British game in provoking that collapse. By surgically striking Iran's nuclear base, Trump removes Israel's excuse for a long war, while Israel itself takes out the major destabilizing force against it, Iran's terror capacity. The Middle East has been the British imperial instrument for wars and coups for centuries. Trump went to Saudi Arabia in May and outlined a plan for economic development by the sovereign nation states and national cultures of the Middle East. That plan is the road to peace and permanent stability. All of those who've been profiting from the region's endless wars panicked. They did the same thing around Trump's Abraham Accords. That's what I believe caused October 7th. This is where I intend to start my investigation of how this war erupted, and I'm sure I'll find the British hand. Recently, Trump and Putin have been discussing how to bring peace in the Middle East as a main discussion topic. That's why even before Saturday's strikes, Putin was telling the Iranians, make a deal with Trump or face the regime's destruction. This isn't about Trump being captured by Israel. If anything, it's about Trump and Putin controlling both Iran and Israel to prevent a wider war and destabilize the world economy. Journalist Barak Raviv has documented how Trump forced Netanyahu into the Abraham Accords by making himself more popular than Bibi in Israel itself, even though Bibi didn't want that peace. Controlling Iran means neutralizing its terror capacities and forcing a reckoning with reality, and that's where Putin is critical. I've looked at all the open source information. I think Trump is trying to construct a permanent peace here, including Israel's war in Gaza. Iran and Israel have been the main combatants in that horrible revenge warfare. While it's true that the Israel lobby has a major reach in the U.S. Central Command through General Kurilla, in the CIA through John Radcliffe, and obviously in the U.S. Congress, Trump functions at a much higher level. His biggest problem is the brain-dead U.S. intelligence community, which refuses to understand the British ideologies which control their assumptions and the nature of recognizing the real enemy. Trump left the G7 in Canada on Monday because Turkey's President Erdogan was arranging a meeting between Iranian representatives and the Trump team in Turkey. But that peace initiative collapsed because Ayatollah Khamenei was unreachable due to the Israeli strikes. When Trump said he would give peace another 2 weeks, Israel did object violently, but it was already clear to Trump that the Iranians were simply trying to play him. That's the sequence of events we need to find out much more about. Now let's talk about how all of this could go wrong and what I might be misestimating. Anyone who tells you they know how this will turn out is blowing smoke. Axios reported Sunday that Trump told Netanyahu that the U.S. is done with strikes unless Iran retaliates against the U.S. bases in the area. It's time for peace. But if Iran decides to retaliate, it has multiple options. It has prepared for war with the United States for years. This is a population who lived through an 8-year war with Iraq without revolting. There are strong rally around the flag sentiments in this suffering and complex nation. Our troops in Iraq and in Syria are sitting ducks. They were left there because the military lied to Donald Trump in his first term about removing them. There is also a major debate about whether Iran's nuclear facilities were destroyed and about where the enriched uranium is. It has not been found. There is no doubt that our military performed terrifically and spectacularly. In previous rounds of conflict, Iran and the United States staged their attacks for minimum damage. Did that happen here? I don't know. Iran had more than adequate notice of the attack, and there were no civilian casualties. But nuclear bombs are made by human beings, not facilities. Iran could take its program dark, just like North Korea did. After all, when Gaddafi abandoned his nuclear program, he was promptly assassinated by the Anglo-Americans. If the British achieve their goal, we'll see mission creep around regime change. There will be a long attritional war that drains U.S. resources, creates further world instability, sets off a new migrant crisis, and evaporates Trump's political base ahead of the 2026 midterms. That is the nightmare scenario, but it's not what Donald Trump has in mind. I think he's acting to prevent exactly that and is trying to strike a grand bargain for overall peace in the Middle East, including an end to the fighting in Gaza. Removing the current main state sponsor of Hamas from financing them is critical to that goal. He has bet his presidency on accomplishing that. Now let's take a look at the strategic context. Lyndon LaRouche predicted 9/11 long before that attack. He forecasted because of the looming financial collapse signaled by the dot-com bubble bursting. Some event, like the Reichstag fire in Germany, would be used to impose authoritarian controls on the population in order to manage that collapse. That's the same kind of context in which this new war has erupted. Ever since the Sykes-Picot Treaty, the Middle East has been the cockpit of forever wars under British controls. Radical Islam and the revisionist Zionism practiced by Benjamin Netanyahu are ideal vessels for endless conflict. But Donald Trump is working on a total and radical reordering of the entire international trade and financial environment for the purpose of creating the new type of renaissance which can prevent this collapse. He wants to productively build our way out of the financial destruction of the last 50 years. The blogger Conservative Treehouse features Susan Kokinda's blockbuster Wednesday Promethean Action Briefing on his site. He agrees that a U.S. and Russian alliance is critical to Trump's plan. He writes, quote, if the USA, technology, innovation, consumer market, forms a strategic alliance with Russia, resources, capacity, consumer market, and then negotiates a reciprocal trade and manufacturing arrangement with China, the geopolitical world order is economically changed. Here at home, the USA is no longer a service-driven economy. A natural balance is restored. The multinationals will fight this hard. There are trillions at stake.
Yes.
So what's the real story? Right now, I think the limited Iran strike is just the military part of Trump's peace efforts. They are a dangerous but controlled move in a much larger game. The media's narrative is designed to confuse and divide, but the real story is about a fragile peace being constructed by Trump and Putin amid global financial turmoil. Russia understands the British hand in these events. So far, our intelligence agencies refuse to understand that. Remember, calm, sober analysis is our best defense against strategic mistakes. Don't let the media's panic and psyops cloud your judgment. Stay focused, stay informed, and keep watching as we hunt the truth together. Last week, we saw explosive growth as those of you who appreciate our analysis are obviously spreading the word. We had 2,000 signups over the course of the weekend and are almost to our goal of 1,000 paid members. I hope you see how critical our analysis is at this hugely important strategic moment. If you haven't already, go to the Promethean Action website and subscribe, and contribute financially as much as you can. Share this video and join the conversation in the comments. I'll be tracking every development, every twist, and every hidden player in this story in the meantime. Thanks for watching. Susan will be with you on Wednesday. I'll see you back here on Saturday.
Please take a
Pretty
moment.
awesome.
Subscribe to our
I'd
free
never seen
newsletter.
her.
Man, I love those women.
I had never
You just
seen-
sit there and binge watch them.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes is all packed in there. You're like, cool, let's take it apart.
That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, she had it going on. And you put that in the permanent as well?
Yeah, well, it's out there.
Okay. I know, heck, you're going to spend an hour just sending me all the stuff you sent.
Well, I will have it on the website too. So on our The Time Is Now podcast website. So, and I know that I think Amazing Grace has been picking up the links and sharing them on her Arise. So on the Telegram, they're getting places.
Oh yeah. Definitely getting close.
We had this is the time that we're in right now, folks. Right now. Right now. And now is not the time to start screaming about tastes great, less filling. Now's the time. Roll the damn sleeves up.
Bootstraps.
Your hands have dirt on them, wipe it on your pants, because who cares? I don't care if you like me. Don't care if you like what I have to say. I do care. Sorry. I'm almost as big a baby as Corey.
That,
But for a guy, that's a pretty big baby. Get along. I chat tonight. I loved it. It was great. But you know what? We missed Corey's PowerPoint this morning or tonight because
that's okay. It's okay to take a night off from that.
And you know what? The parties involved, we know they're good folks. Bad day? I'm not saying that. Difference of opinion? Oh yeah. Who cares? Get over it. Damn it. Folks,
we're too far along in this fight and battle for us to be fighting each other.
And moaning over nothing. Who cares? Jason, I'm not right all the time.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
Wait.
I mean, you don't learn if you're not wrong. And how do you know you're right?
Exactly.
What do you cross check it with?
Exactly. Who are you checking?
We're just checking everything that's all the events, everything's
we're checking each other, we're checking the events. Folks, do I think that Persia has a great hand in this? Cyrus the Great.
Yep.
He restored.
Holy shit.
He restored, Jason.
Doc. Why did he send 3 bombers one way and 7 the other? Cyrus the Great. Cease.
Ah. G is 7.
The Shah. Why is the first thing you want to pull up? The Prince of Persia. You're going to pull up all that video. You're going to pull video games, this and that. But you're not going to pull up what you should pull up. Keep going to 3rd page, 4th page. Prince of Persia stood against the angel Gabriel. I came 28 days, but the Prince of Persia fought me. 28 days. 28 days. 28 days. Always told the Prince of Persia is Lucifer, or at least an angelic, demonic presence. In Daniel, that might be true. Very true, perhaps. The Prince of Persia that is in 2025, the rightful heir, the rightful king of the oldest, one of the oldest countries, most important countries for humanity. Humanity. He's the Prince of Persia. Why do they always do that? And no, yes, true. I'm highly influenced by lunch break and all the things that they do, you know, and I understand. Same pattern, same people, same game, same playbook. Persia's big. I think Iran and Trump have already signed their deal.
Yep.
I think they did that weeks ago.
Deals made, strings cut.
And here's why. Because not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if Israel will not do the ceasefire. Just a matter of when.
When have
They
they
have their
ever-
number.
Yeah,
When that
when have they
happens.
ever?
When that happens, that will take care of one aspect of it. Here's the other aspect. What is that? I made peace with these people. These people are under the guardian and protectorship of the American Republic. Out of good faith, the Ayatollah or the Shah gave us all these documents that they got. How'd they get them? Well, they supposedly hacked Israel.
That would be something.
Somebody smarter.
Getting the Epstein files out that way.
Why do they want us to destroy Iran? It's because they have all the receipts. All of them. Oh, don't get me wrong. We have them too.
Mm-hmm.
We have them too.
But we're infiltrated.
And we're just about done. We're just about done. You ever have a sliver, really big, long sliver in your arm and your leg? And it's hard to get. You can't get it. But you know what? After a while, it gets a little infected and it gets kind of pussy. And you can touch it and it explodes and the sliver comes out. That's where we are with Israel. The last is about to have a hell of a squeeze.
Oh.
And that splinter is coming out. That splinter made from a cross. Biblical? We have no idea. We have no idea. But that thing's coming out. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I don't sure. I have to go lay down.
Yeah,
My body has been in spasms for probably about 45 minutes.
Ooh, that's not good, dog.
No, I don't normally go like this every now and then. It's so. I do the mute because I fart a lot.
Oh, nice. Carpet bombing over there.
Nice.
Merkava that, brother. It's an awesome thing. Oh, sorry about that. Someone was eating their dinner.
Cause them to
We
choke
live in
on
the
something.
greatest time ever.
We do.
And there's no time to play, no time to fight. Call me a dumbass, that's fine. I've been called that once, maybe more than once. But get along. We're on the same team, we're on the same thing. I have never fought with the left guard that was lined up next to me. I had his back, he had mine. And we plowed. Let's plow together, folks. We got more to do. You know, when we get to quit? When the boss says so. The boss, Jason, can you believe that?
Fun.
And it means oh so much more than what we talked about.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Love you all greatly.
Yep.
Tina,
We'll be
Jason.
back on the Time Is Now podcast on Wednesday. And I know Jason and Dina and everyone here at WeNotMe, thank you so much for hosting tonight.
Anytime.
So much.
It really saved me a lot of stress of making
anytime you need a night off or something, just let us know.
You certainly don't need me on the operating side.
Me
No
neither.
worries. No
Me neither.
worries.
That's why she knows who to contact.
For God's sakes,
Well, Amy wasn't available
We'll have
because she
the
has her
NSA here
class
tomorrow.
and her mom. So it just, I appreciate everything.
We'll keep it
And
going.
It's okay to come over and
It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so
So,
much.
we love you all.
All right.
You have a wonderful evening. And here's to the cleanup of everything, right? So,
Yes.
till later, y'all.
I think it's closer than we think.